Okay, so, retro gaming's having a moment, right? Like, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But today, we're going deeper, way deeper.
Rare.
And like Mariana Trench deep,
Hmm.
diving into the world of the analog 3D.
Ah, okay. Yeah, this is exciting. This isn't just like blowing the dust off your old cartridges. This is different.
Totally. And everyone's saying this could be a total game changer. But does it live up to the hype? That's what we're here to find out.
Right. Got to sift through the noise and see what's what.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
first off, for anyone who maybe missed the memo, what makes the analog 3D such a big deal?
Well, it's all about the Nintendo 64, right? It's notoriously difficult to emulate well. I mean, people have been trying for years to get that N64 experience just right on newer hardware.
Yeah, and it never quite feels the same, does it? Always some lag or graphical glitches.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what Analog is claiming they've cracked with the 3D. They're saying, and this is a bold claim, that this is the first device to perfectly replicate the Man 64 experience. Not close, not almost, but perfect.
So, like, how magic? What's the secret sauce here?
Okay, so the magic is actually something called FPGA. Stands for Field Programmable Gate Array.
Catchy.
Right. Basically, think of it this way. Most emulation is done with software, trying to mimic the original hardware. FPGA is different. It's hardware mimicking hardware. They basically rebuilt the N64's guts at a chip level.
Whoa, so it's like playing on an actual N64.
In essence, yes, which means no glitches, no slowdowns, perfect compatibility.
That's huge, especially for, like, hardcore collectors. And speaking of, the Analog 3D is supposed to play every N64 cartridge, right?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Every single N64 cartridge from any region, no more messing around with import adapters or region locks.
It's like a love letter to the collectors out there.
100%. And this isn't Analog's first foray into this world. I mean, they've been doing these high-end retro consoles for over a decade now. Started with some more niche consoles like the Neo Geo, the NES.
Right.
But then they moved on to the bigger ones like the SNES, Genesis, Game Boy.
So they're clearly passionate about this stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And they're purists about it, too. Only ever use original cartridges. No ROMs, no downloads. Just that authentic experience.
Which honestly is kind of refreshing in this age of, like, everything being digital. But, okay, let's get down to it. When can people get their hands on this thing? And how much is it going to set them back?
Well, pre-orders are opening pretty soon, actually. October 21st is the date to mark.
Okay, so not that far off.
Nope. Price-wise, it's not exactly an impulse buy. $250.
Yeah, that's a little up there.
It is in line with their other consoles, though. And when you think about how much some of those vintage N64 cartridges go for these days,
True.
it might not seem so bad. There is a slight catch. It won't actually ship until early 2025. They had to push it back a bit.
Ah, the dreaded delays. But hey, good things come to those who wait, right? And this really could be a very good thing, not just for, nostalgic gamers, but for the entire retro gaming scene.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, imagine tournaments played on the Analog 3D. Everyone on a completely level playing field, just like back in the day, but with the added benefit of modern tech ensuring everything runs perfectly.
Wow. That'd be something else. Could you imagine a resurgence of, like, high-level competitive GoldenEye on this thing?
Right, or Star Fox, or any of those classic N64 titles. People were so good back then. It'd be amazing to see that skill on display again, but with this new level of, I don't know, purity to it.
Yeah, pure skill, no question about whether someone had a better version of the game or whatever, just pure head-to-head competition.
Exactly. I mean, it really makes you think, right? Like, what impact could this have on the retro scene? Could this be the start of a new golden age for classic games played on their original hardware, but with this new level of accessibility and perfection?
And not just competition, but even just for preservation. We always talk about how hard it is to keep these old games alive and playable. Well, this could be a huge step in the right direction.
Totally. It's like this weird intersection of old and new, and it's fascinating. I mean, I'm excited to see where this goes.
Me too. The future of retro gaming. It's looking pretty bright right now. Who knew it'd be an old console that might just shake things up?
Yeah.
Definitely something to keep an eye on.
For sure.
So there you have it, the Analog 3D. A blast from the past, but maybe, just maybe, a glimpse into the future of retro gaming too.